What a morning in GLL PUBG Season 4. We thought yesterday was a bit slow for some teams. Today certainly wasn't. Everyone was off and running. Some incredibly good battles and some underdog performances that shined through. Specifically, I think, guys, from Inside Gamers.
Yeah, I mean, Inside Gaming had a good run here. They got themselves a win. They've been pretty quiet up until this point.
I mean, this is the first time we've really seen them make it late game right confidently, or at least be active in the kill feed. Obviously, this 1v3 from that nearly came off.
Yes.
Weird little off angle there with the prone, unfortunate, but I even called that K-Mine was going to win that one. But Inside Games, yeah, coming out strong again. Back to Team Liquid here. This play on Sandhawk was actually insane. How quickly this flipped around in Team Liquid's favor was actually crazy.
I mean, I love that we have the overview here. In game, we saw this from Shard Shot's perspective. Now we're getting a second look at it. Look how surrounded Liquid was. This was a textbook trap by Wildcard, sprung perfectly, but the skill of Liquid was just too much for them. I mean, K-Mine saw that first knock, turned around, got like a 2-tap on Kick when he tried to give him the peek, and then it was the other side. It just fell apart.
Back-to-back games for K-Mine as well. That
bananas.
1v3. Welcome to the halftime show, of course. Toffees and High Paw going to be breaking down everything, I think, for sort of the next hour as we get ready for our afternoon's games. But we've got a lot to talk about. That particular, from K-Mine, that 1v3, I thought maybe he had a chance too, and I think maybe he overplayed himself a little bit on the smoke.
I mean, it's unfortunate. He also could have obviously used his utility slightly, I don't want to say better, but maybe slightly differently. The molly onto the tree, nearly clearing that IG player off would have been the perfect kind of end to that. But unfortunately, it's just an unexpected angle for the guy to go prone out in the open and just take a weird peek.
Referring, of course, to the Arango game prior to Sandhawk, we were talking about sort of when he did the hold there. But I got to be honest, the analyst in me goes, he could have used this a little better or played this a little bit differently. But the player in me goes, man, that was just crazy.
It was still fantastic to watch.
Like he was reducing health on one and would be like, okay, I know you're healing, let me hold the other side. He would get a 2-tap, and instead of going for the finish, he'd go back and make sure he injured the other.
Absolutely perfect until the one-on-one. And I think there he was maybe a little hesitant. I get his mindset, but he gave the window of opportunity, and credit to Inside Gamers. Was it Zampeak? I can't remember who was that was the last one left, but took advantage of the fact that, okay, you put a smoke down that you're designing to push me right. Yeah. I'm going to go left and use that to my own advantage, and it worked out.
Well, and he also, I think, made a smart push, right? So he did the heal. He figured that Inside would use the smoke in an obscuring sort of way, and then he'd be able to sort of push him. They'd have a close-range fight, potentially. He goes out to the right side, and Inside's just laying on the ground out to the flex, basically where you don't expect someone to be.
I mean, it's unfortunate because I don't think K-Mine made any mistakes during that. So for him to kind of outplay, I guess, with the prone play was still a nice ending to
I think sometimes the unexpected play is the right play.
Oh, yeah.
In that sense.
Well, you can see K-Mine was completely caught off guard by it.
We've all done that where you're kind of like, well, I have nowhere to go. I'll lay down. And then when they peek, they're looking, pre-aims a little bit high, and you get the jump on them. We're going to bring up the leaderboard. We're going to go game by game here in a minute. We'll step back and go into game one even, because FaZe finally showed up, but WTSG continued the way they left off yesterday. This is where we sit from this previous game. Okay, all right, I'm aware of where we are now. So this is game 9. This is the first game. Omikin Singularity shoots kill. Placement points, but then the kill points. Omikin, that is incredible.
Yeah, and actually ended up coming out, as the point victor of this game, purely based on the second place with 10 kills. Obviously, Singularity, bold rotation to make it to the compound, but they didn't see an awful lot of action after that. Big props to Kodak, by the way. Came up huge in that endgame situation, getting 2 back-to-back knocks. I think he was down to 1 HP at one point, but 2 really clean sprays to open that fight up. Again, it was still, it was a 3v4 for Omikin, but again, it was a fair fight.
And I think that's the story of Sandhawk, right? Singularity did what you do. When you've got the circle, you shore up, you sort of play that porcupine style, like nobody can really attack you, but you're not going to get a lot of kills. And then the other side of the time, Omikin and Shoot to Kill and WTSG, they played it where you didn't get the circle. So you go out, you look for the points where you can. Ultimately, Omikin comes out ahead because of that. And that's, like I said, that's what we saw yesterday with Liquid. That's how you play Sandhawk. You don't always get the circle, and honestly, you don't even look to win Sandhawk. You look to win it with points.
So this is where I thought we were going to go. Sorry for the confusion. That was obviously the Sandhawk game. This is the overall leaderboard. This gives us the picture of where we are at what is now the halfway point in this event. We have done 9 of the 18 games. WTSG.
A 37-point lead.
Holy God. That is remarkable.
And then, do you know what? This is coming off the back as well. The kill number there for me stands out as well, because I think just looking for this, and I'm not sure if it's completely updated, but FaZe also stacking up 50 now, which is actually the second highest on the leaderboard. Obviously, they're down in 5th, but Uber racking up 22 kills. Everybody on WTSG in double digits right now. Iro leading the charge with 18, I think, but insane performance coming out. The last 5 games now, they haven't placed outside the top 5.
I mean, they're the kill leader.
Six games, actually. The only 2 games they placed outside the top 5 was the first 2 games yesterday.
And they've had 4 top 3s, just to paint that picture even a little more for you. That's remarkable. FaZe, only 14 placement points, but 50 kills. Certainly making their names known on the kill feed, but maybe need to survive a little longer.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, WTSG is double dipping. They're playing the best of both worlds in that they have the best placements and they have the best kill counts. Granted, placements often come with kills, but to that scenario, this team has found what works and their formula seems unbreakable.
Well, that previous scoreboard we just looked at, they had 6 kills, 1 placement point in the Sanhok.
Yep.
So if you're still aiming for that, you know, we see teams come out win these series with, you know, an average point per game of 6.5 to 7.5. So they're still hitting the average they need to on the bad games they're having. One thing I will just say, there's 5 points separating 7th to 2nd.
Wow.
Insane. Absolutely ridiculous. I want to point out, it's off the screen now, but Singularity is 2nd in terms of placement points. If you take the kills out of it, they're in 2nd right now. Considerable margin back even still, because WTSG has been so consistent, but 2 wins now for them.
And we talked about that yesterday. We said that you can choose to play this game 2 separate ways. I mean, Singularity is choosing to work that placement system. They're making sure that they can get their points. And the risk is, if you get a couple of games where you don't get good placement, you're just dunzos, but they seem to have it under control.
I mean, I talk about this quite often. You know, teams that win the games they should win, and you know, they don't end up moving out of the compound, being too aggressive for kills. But this is kind of the opposite end of the extreme for me. They had the first round of yesterday, they obviously got first place in 6 kills, and then we got first place in 4 kills here on Sanhok. They need to be a bit more aggressive in these games that they're, I don't want to say being gifted, but they're getting favorable circles.
And even in the last game that they did win, they finished 2nd in points because of the kill total for Omak. And so it goes to show you how the points can be skewed based on that aggression. Nonetheless, consistency, certainly part of it, and they're up there.
Again, underdog, we wouldn't have called them winning the first game initially and then coming back and winning the second. They're definitely a dark horse in this race.
It does bring to light, though, and you touched on it this morning, Toffees, Red Canids. They're supposed to be the best from the region. We haven't really seen much of anything from them.
I mean, you heard what he said. He said, I still think Red Canids is the best. Like, kudos to him on the humility of the whole thing.
Fair play,
But the reality is, I think part of that comes down to Red Canids isn't getting their drops. They have succumbed to that, it's Europe, so let's not go push Liquid. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to play what you know, and I think this has been a case study in that, is Red Canids is playing outside of their comfort zone. They're not playing their drops, and everything breaks down from there because you practice your rotations. You know how to handle certain circles, and you can't do that anymore. And I think that that's the story of Red Canids, and I don't know how they get out of that other than to say, well, you know what? We're already on the bottom. Maybe let's take back what's ours.
I think step one for them is to absolutely maximize the points they can get from Miramar. If they're struggling this much on a wrangle, being out of their comfort zone, rotating from somewhere else, timings are off, you know, the pathing is off and things like that, they need to absolutely come back into Miramar swinging.
There's another team that's struggling on a wrangle. Do I need to say anything about it? I mean, yesterday, dominant on the first 3 maps. That includes Sanhok, by the way. Exalt, 50 points. We thought they were going to be in the position that WTSG's in.
Yeah.
Where are they now?
I mean,
they had some. I think I didn't specifically note their points, but I think they've had a handful since that time, since halftime yesterday.
They've dropped to 7th, 61 points total. So it's 11 points
in 6 games.
Yeah.
I mean,
wow.
Let's go over there. Since we moved to Erangel, their placement has been 8, 15, 8, 16, 14, 10. So they're just not finding their footing. They're not getting forward to late circle. They're not even getting to the late circles.
And the other thing is, they're a Milta team. We've seen military zones, so they should be capitalizing on these circles.
And they were early. In the second game, I noticed they were very early to get across the Novo and set up on that side of the bridge, and still they didn't get
Again,
anything.
it's not a given, but they have one of the better routes onto Military Island than any other team, and we've seen them perform poorly, even through the mid-game, not even late game, through the mid-game.
I will say this, though. The East Bridge today, in particular, has been a bit of a palaver for teams trying to cross it. There's been a lot of traps. There's been a lot of teams like Oath sort of camping across the bridge. When you said yourself, if this was a scrim, Oath would have gone center circle, but they were trying to get some free points, mess with the Milta rotations. So I think that's part of it, too, is, again, we're mixing regions here. So I think they're just not used to sort of dealing with, hey, Milta should be an easy rotation, and it just isn't going that way.
Yeah.
That said, Miramar's around the corner.
Yes.
They banged it out on Miramar yesterday.
They did.
They've got 3 of them today.
But again, look at on the flip side of that, the same point I just made. The Miramar circles favored them, and they capitalized on them. So seeing that, and again, WTSG, actually, if you think about it, they had the 2 worst Miramar circles they had. They did poorly. And again, we've had a bit of diversity to the Erangel circles, and they've still been this dominant.
We're going to get back to the circles and get into the specifics of each map, specifically the 2 Erangel maps, because they're a little further out of our mind. In order to do that, I think the best way is perhaps to go back and look at the cat interview when we had with the winners. So this was from this morning's Erangel game with WTSG.
What a phenomenal game that was. I'm joined here with Zhang from WTSG. The back-to-back wins, that must feel amazing. Now, one thing, you started with the Erangel today. You guys landed Ruins. Talk to me about that circle pop. It went to military. Take me through that rotation.
Yeah, we were worrying about the military game as well because of the plane, but it usually goes milli circle with those plane bats, so I don't know. We knew that no one is going to camp the West Bridge because it would be too risky for teams at this stage of the tournament as well, so we just take it slow and like went to milli base when we saw opener.
Thank you for that. So I also have another great question for you because bolting used to be big in the PUBG scene. I believe I saw you with an AUM, correct?
Yeah.
Knocking those players with an AUM, bringing back the bolt. Tell me why you would pick up a bolt in those situations over a DMR.
I don't know. I mean, late game, I guess it's better than mini. I had mini, so I just took it. It couldn't be better for late game, but I missed a lot of shots because I haven't played AVM that much, but yeah, my teammates were hitting shots, so it didn't matter.
Well, thank you so much for the insight on that game, and back to you guys.
So that was this morning's Erangel game. Here is the look at the scoreboard and how that played out. There's a very indicative scoreline at the top. Obviously 21-18 for WTSG over top of FaZe Clan. That could have been swapped around even with them finishing in second place FaZe Clan. There was a lot of kills at the end where WTSG actually came in and third-partied and took the fights from them.
Yeah, we saw an interesting situation between FaZe, WTSG, and Na'Vi. Na'Vi getting pinned against the circle, and it actually tied down FaZe for a long time. They stalled a lot up on the high ground. And we still had 2 members of STK at some point over there. But in my eyes, FaZe took too long at the high ground there, and it just allowed WTSG to move out. And we saw Zhong actually moving out, and he was flushing down for the AUM. It just had so much freedom to get multiple angles and pretty much wrap the circle.
I think this also sparked a trend we're going to see for the rest of the day. The top 5 teams had 39 of the kills available in the lobby. That's a lot of points. It's not also a surprise to me that the teams who finished on top here, who split that massive kill total, are also the teams we're seeing on top of sort of the overall leaderboard. Navi's the exception to that. They're in 10th place right now. But again, Navi is a team who had 48 hours, I think, of notice to get here for this after some struggles in the last qualifier, and to see them having a great game and slowly climbing that board is also kind of impressive.
The other interesting thing, just to go back, because I said we were going to talk about circles, and we'll kind of loop back around, I guess, and close it off. This was a military circle, and Hypoc, you noted something very interesting, because we have had FaZe kind of visiting the island, we'll say. They've kind of just gone on vacation down there and see what's on the beaches. But in the center of that island is where EXO loots the whole time. They have sort of territory on it, but they do, pointed out something really neat.
There was 2 interesting points I wanted to make, and whether or not FaZe's audible drop on the South Plains. Again, South George was accessible on this plane path, but we saw them drop to the west side of Millie. Again, I don't want to call it too early, but if that's an audible drop they want to make on these planes, then it works out for them. They get the new compound over on the west side. Again, if it does pop over to the east towards Novo, they have great routes around the south side of the runway, but the way they played that looked rehearsed. And again, the audible drop, sometimes coming out random on the west side of Millie, didn't necessarily cause problems for Exodus, because on the flip side of that, we did actually see Exodus executing a rehearsed strat as well, which is coming down to the south side of the island, camping for boats. They were actively looking for those early game kills. I think it was Vegas that was still back looting for a little while, but it'll be interesting to see if we get another Millie game, if we see this audible drop, obviously plane dependent from FaZe.
Well, I mean, that's it. You say they're visiting. I think that they've bought a timeshare in that area. I don't think we should be surprised to see them over there again.
No.
It seems like a very smart drop. And honestly, the person they're sharing the timeshare with is Exodus, and that is definitely enough space. They know, hey, these guys have that beach and sort of the transition at Crossroads. We're not going to mess with that. And like you pointed out, Exodus doesn't even want to go that way anyway.
Yeah. It's not worth either team to contest those areas.
There's a content piece there. Where would you invest into real estate in PUBG? Like one building, you got to ask everyone here, which house would they buy? I think that'd be kind of neat, a little Monopoly style. I did want to point out, because you did mention that Exodus went down toward that beach to camp it, sort of gatekeep it, if you will. But James was kind of clever for Liquid. They rotated very early. Yes, they lost one on the bridge immediately, and they abandoned him. He was out, but they immediately went down with the... Actually, excuse me, I think James just lost the bridge. It was K-Mine that checked it out.
Yeah.
He swung down and went, okay, they are there, confirmed.
It was interesting, actually, because K-Mine baited out a couple of shots. Both of the compounds at the time were actually free. We had 3 members of Exodus down on the maple tree, just to the tip of the beach, and then I think it was Pat Caps and Bale over further to the west of them. But K-Mine kind of driving loops around in the circle. They're kind of looking for what was free, baited out the shots, and kind of gave away the clue to what Exodus were doing, to be honest with you. And obviously K-Mine ended up coming back to the compound. We actually saw him later on do that insane 1v2 at the... I think it was actually... Was it against Exodus? It was against Exodus over at the one story in the Shack compound, just a bit further north of that. But anyway, yeah. So Team Liquid, again, 1 man down. They're still aggressively scouting stuff down on the south coast. And, you know, potentially we could have seen a trap set up by Team Liquid if they weren't, you know, forced away by Exodus.
I mean, I think the reality of that game, and we'll probably move to the next one soon, but is we're talking about K-Mine yet again. 3 games in a row that he is the #1 topic of conversation, so very, very impressive play. Second, it's the shorelines. We saw Exodus go to the south. We saw STK slide through and get themselves sort of that western shore.
Before that, they were farming on a couple of kills on Meta, and STK
looking for that.
Backfilled them.
And then Liquid's watching everything to come from the main beach. So everyone knows when it comes to these military circles, if you're not rotating in those first 2 to 3 minutes of the game, you're already still a little bit too late.
This is, to epitomize that point, Atletico was forever in the blue with the boats, and guess what happened? And it's, in my opinion, the most frustrating way. You're chasing, you're in a boat of all things, which is annoying enough. Feels like your age is off the shore and it takes forever. And then the second they finally get back in the zone, boom, dead instantly.
Yeah.
People up on the hills are already watching them. Just to we're not going to move to game 2 yet, but just to jump to another point you brought out, FaZe. I put FaZe finally on this piece of paper.
Yeah.
I thought they finally had a good team game, and they had some excellent fights. You brought up the one against Exalt, I believe.
Well, I mean, I think that FaZe has just been on their game. It feels like Gustav is kind of finding his feet at this point. But really, the reality is Uba. The second you give Uba a chance to go crazy, I mean, you asked for this highlight. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I mean, again, just Uba's pre-nade here just literally cleans this up for free. Again, gets 2 fantastic knocks. I'm glad we got the observer perspective from Uba's in-eyes there. But again, this pre-nade, I'm pretty sure they had no clue what the hell happened there.
It blew up 2 cars, and the third one just goes with it.
He's cooking that. He's primed that nade, and then he's taken the 2 knocks, and that entire time the nade's just sat there waiting for them to pull up on it.
And I mean, the reality is he did it the right way. So the common play there, I think, for most of us as we play the game is to sort of nade the garage and hold the stairwell. He naded outside the garage, held the bottom of the stairs, and so basically Exalt's like, aha, we know you're here, and they stop outside, because that's the right play. Exalt didn't make any mistakes, I don't think, there.
No, they crashed at 4. They were together.
They were together. They stopped on the outside. The push is right. It was just Uba knew the way to play this and countered it perfectly. And it's funny. I mean, we literally are comparing some of the best in the world. We've talked about K-Mine, then we go to Uba, and this is not uncommon. These guys are amazing at what they do, and I think they're carrying 2 teams that we're going to see in the top 3.
I mean, just going back to what Matt said, though, this is the FaZe that I don't think we saw yesterday at all, and they look 10 times more comfortable in these military circles, and in terms of team fight and holding down the compound, we didn't really see that yesterday at all. We saw one game when they popped off, got 12 kills or something, went out with no placement points, but they're definitely looking much better today.
Yes, I think the fights, they look far more composed. I do think, though, with the placement points being the way they are, they do need to start getting them soon. We're halfway through the event now. So, yeah, great. Getting a lot of kills. Got to get the points as well.
Well, I mean, I'll say this. We talked about early on what FaZe could struggle with if they go to George opponents, these sort of rotations off of their normality. The upside of these games that we just watched is they got the circles. They landed in a spot where they didn't have to worry about long rotations.
An audible drop.
Exactly. Yeah. So they picked an audible drop. They got the circle. They don't have to worry about weird rotations and getting caught out. They get to sort of play their game. And FaZe does have incredible timing. So they didn't have to worry about sort of overlooting or overstaying their welcome. They found a good spot and they played it really well.
Game 2, we'll move forward to that. This was the underdog performance, I'll say, of the year, but really that's because we've only had 2 real days of competition, so maybe a little overstatement, maybe a little drama. Inside Gamers looked absolutely incredible. Kat had a chance to catch up with them after their win.
Back-to-back military circles, absolutely insane. I'm joined now with Pixel 1K of Inside Games. I know you guys had a very rough day yesterday, probably not somewhere you wanted to be at. Now talk to me, has anything changed with the strategy today?
I mean, we don't have experience in that kind of lobby. It's our first international tournament, and it's kind of hard to adapt because like other regions play completely different. And I mean, it's all about adaptation because the first time we tried to go light, all the teams were on the edge and destroyed us, basically. So that's why we didn't perform well yesterday. But I hope with the changes and actually with this win that will boost our confidence, we might be able to be at least in top 12 in the end. But I mean, this game was insane. We didn't have the circle. We just went for kills. That's all we wanted, and we won. I mean, that's the best scenario that can happen. So.
No, you guys did a phenomenal job. One thing I would love to touch base on is that it was a military circle again. How does that change the looting phase for you guys in that earlier part of the game?
So we always try to rotate quick, but unfortunately, I don't know why the loot wasn't perfect, and so we always decided to a little bit overloot. But this time we decided like whatever happens, just go with no scope, no heals, and just rush it.
Well, congratulations on that win, and thank you guys so much from the floor.
Yeah, thank you.
I just want to say it's about damn time someone was smart enough in the gaming world to get sponsored by Kappa and get a Kappa jersey. That's just free branding that has been waiting to happen. Maybe it's on Kappa not to have approached that sooner. This was an incredible game. 15 kills. A couple things to pick apart. It says they're aiming for top 12. Okay, maybe that's modest considering they're a replacement for some visa issues. But 15 kills, and he says, screw the loot, we're just going to play this one.
Yeah.
Works for them.
Dude, you know what? I could still tell he was absolutely buzzing after that win. We actually saw the reaction cam where they were just kind of like, oh my God, we won.
Yeah.
And again, Matram even picked up, it was like, thank God that's over. But again, do you know what? It's good to hear them that actually they came away and made some different decisions from what they were doing yesterday. And he picked up on that saying, you know, we wanted to loot quick. Yesterday we were guilty of over-looting, not really having circle luck, but also trying to play edge. So it's good to see them actually turn that around. Again, I want to hear him say we're aiming for top 6, but this could be the start of them picking up some more points.
I was just impressed with their tenacity in the fights because for a team... Toffees, you were sitting there and I was thinking, we got to talk about them at some point. We haven't mentioned them enough.
I was like,
I feel obligated as the
Exactly.
host.
Yeah.
I know, but I feel obligated. We got to kind of,
We should.
know,
Well,
but then they
this
just
is why-
threw this at us. It was
this
like,
is
okay, we're
why.
talking about them now.
They tie for the most kills in the tournament so far in one game, so they get another 15K-er. They do really, really well. I mean, this is a team that 3 of them have been together for a year and a half. They recently added, I think it was Free Kill 2 months ago. They had 3 days of notice to get here and play. They're only shooting for the top 12, like he said. That yet they come out and they do really well. Now, their strength is their communication. They're all commuting in their native language of Czech. They work very well together, and I think that's the key. The reason they did so well in this game is they didn't have time to think. Everything was chaos. Everything was attack, 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 survive, survive, survive. And I can speak for myself and say some of my best games in PUBG have been those games where things started going wrong right away, and you just kept surviving things that were going wrong for the entire game, and all of a sudden you finish, you're like, oh man, we got the chicken dinner and like 15 kills. That was incredible, and that's when you and your buddies, like that's the time of your life. That's when you play 3 more. That's when you go till 4 a.m. because you're in the zone.
Yeah, I agree. I've had games like that where I'm like, damn, it just feels like so much work, but then at the end you feel really rewarded from it.
Yeah.
The game's not
I thought you were going to elaborate
He's
maybe
just
on
that
something
good.
else he said. I was leaving it for you.
About pub games.
All right. I'm sorry. Not all of us can be so fortunate as to be gifted at the game such as you are. All right. I got to make do in the pubs.
Just to come back to them, though, they actually demonstrated some insane mechanical skill. Individually, as players there, we saw them taking team fights and looking like strong. And again, we haven't had a chance. We said we hadn't talked about them because we haven't seen them on camera. We haven't seen them doing anything. So
it did show at the end though when K-Mine got to control the pace because I think that's part of it. They were steamrolling teams that were engaged or taking advantage of situations. K-Mine was able to slow it down and get control.
That's the important point to make was actually K-Mine was in control of how that fight played out. And actually it was only a good outplay like I said. But, you know, positionally, they set up perfectly for that. K-Mine was able to just identify the weak spots. And again, to still come out on top of that and not let K-Mine clutch it is impressive nonetheless.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then again, we move to Sanok and K-Mine shows up immediately after. It was a close 1v1. Good points again for Liquid. Yet to find themselves in the winners column, but getting very near. They've had a couple top 3 finishes. K-Mine on the wild card, though. That you guys kind of alluded to that early on. That turn... with Sharp Shot sitting behind a rock, lets them all run by, trigger discipline, waits. Oh, I got Ibby. Ibby goes down and K-Mine's like, no.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
I mean, you kill Ibby, like you feel pretty good about starting a fight by killing Ibiza, and then all of a sudden, like just the wheels came off. They closed in from 4 sides. Like Wildcard, all intents and purposes, set up to kill whoever crossed that bridge. That was their strategy. It just so happened to be Team Liquid, and unfortunately for them, it just so happened to be Team Liquid.
Yeah, I mean, Sharpshot's no slouch either.
No, those guys are good.
That's the interesting thing with that.
We may not be the halftime show with Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake, but we do have 2 duos, 2 people, I should say, equally as good, and they're doing some acting just as they would on a stage. This is Charades with Paper Thin and Matchroom.
Here we are playing charades. This feels like an unfair punishment, where the people that talk all the time, and now they're like, Matt, shut up and don't say anything at all, and just make random movements towards paper so that way he can figure out what you're talking about.
Well, this is why I'm making you do the charades and I'm guessing.
I know. Thanks so much for this one. All right. So, without any further ado, you ready to get into it?
Let's go.
Here we go.
What? Throwing? Sword? Cutting? Fighting? This is Molotov? Grenades? What? Sword chopping? Killing?
It's PUBG, man! It's PUBG! There are no swords in PUBG!
Okay. Is this the what? Pass.
Pass!
Bandage. Bandage healing? First aid kit. Med kit. Scope. Aim. ADS. Aim down sights. Sniping. Sniper rifle. DMR. Assault rifle. Scope.
Pan! Pan is the first one.
What is? I don't know what this is. He can like flip a pancake or
Pan is
something.
the first one, and then Mini 14 was the last one.
Oh, it was the actual
rifle,
gun.
Small. That's why I kept trying to like motion the gun.
You should have gone with like the numbers. Then I would have.
I hate you.
They got 2?
2.
Man, oh man, that was jeez. The Pan one was. I don't know who's to blame.
To be
here.
fair, he was committed to the sword call.
Yeah, he was. He was. I like how
committed.
Matchroom
He
just
said it
broke
at
the
least
rule.
4 times.
And then he goes, "This is PUBG."
Yeah, he just breaks the silence like that. Come on, man. Who's to blame there? The actor or the guest?
No, that one was on Matchup. That one. The next couple were definitely
Hand
paper.
is this?
Well, I think he was doing the different ways that you hit people.
Yeah, but he was
hands.
swinging it with 2 hands.
That's
you don't
true.
swing with 2 hands.
Maybe he's a
in
really
PUBG.
weak
It's a
dude.
one-
Some of those cast iron pans are pretty damn heavy, man.
I'm trying to think now. Do they swing with 2 hands or 1 hand in PUBG? I'm pretty sure it's 1 hand.
Whoa.
This is the hard hitting
Whoa.
analysis we sign on for.
Damn. This is the hardest thing we've had on the desk all week. Someone on Twitter will let us know.
Yeah,
Sure.
That's insane.
Somebody's bound to correct us in chat.
Hashtag
100%.
GLLS4. Get some questions in aside from just which hand do you use to swing a pan, because we've got another bunch of questions to answer, and that includes what's going to happen on Miramar. First and foremost, though, we're going to have a halftime in the halftime. I don't know what that means, but it does mean we're going to have a 10-minute break. When we come back, we look forward to the afternoon, and hey, maybe we'll have some fun with the players as well.
Don't just watch PUBG, compete as well. Competitive ELO and ranking system. Climb the ladder. Start your path to pro. Head over to play.gll.gg. The best PUBG platform.
Welcome back, guys. We are in the GLL Lounge. That's a mouthful, isn't it? I'm joined here by Toby. Toby.
Hi.
Oh, so you're joining me now.
I am, yeah. You can join me as well if you want to.
No, we're here to show you guys exactly what GLL is doing for the people spectating the competition. Now we're going to walk over to some of the spectators who've pretty much known the game through and through.
Yeah.
You coming with, Toby?
I am coming with. I'll come with you.
Oh, are you coming with? All right, so what up, guys? How is the lounge treating you?
It's great. Yeah, love it. Best lounge I've ever been in.
Now, why would you say it's the best lounge you've ever been in, though? Because those are some bold words.
I've been to a few GLL events, and this is actually the best lounge at GLL, so, you know.
I mean, you're not wrong. I've been to one as well. Now, the accommodations in here, what is your favorite thing about it, though? I feel like I know the answer, but I want to hear it.
Yeah, the bar. Yeah.
I can do this one. I can do this one. You can just talk.
Actually, that's.
You ask the question, I hold the mic.
Oh, perfect. That's good. You're my mic extender. That's another short one coming at me. You're coming at me with the short ones. We should keep it walking around. Though.
Oh, we're continuing already. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, did you not want to continue with me?
Oh yeah, I am.
Let me just back it up. So we have a giant screen for everyone to watch in here, which is quite possibly my favorite thing, being blind a bit. Oh wait, that looked really good, Toby. It's as big as you.
It is. That's amazing.
Yes. Oh, familiar face in the scene. Was that Coach over here? What's up? How's it going, dude? How's your day?
Well, so far so good.
Oh wow, that's for so. No, so as your team, Almakin, right? Almakin Sports. Almakin.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm there. I'm super quick.
Like, what's going on here?
So as the coaching position, give me some insight on what exactly you guys do, because it is a kind of a position that isn't known too much in the scene. But give me some enlightenment on that.
So basically, basically the inside is we just put Vasco on the top there and just tell him to shoot head, and it works.
Is that all it takes to be a coach?
I mean, yeah. Basically, ask Atletico.
Oh, Athletic. Oh, where are they at? Are they even in here?
They might have gone home already.
Throwing some shades at Atletico. The boys of Atletico are just getting punched all day today.
I feel like that's the case, yeah. I gotta find my way out of here again, so you just keep talking.
No, just get in there. Just have a seat.
Oh, I can continue. Yeah. I can continue.
Yeah, I think you just squish in between them.
From one coach to the same team, but more of a management role. Fosh, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. What is how is the tournament treating you so far?
Pretty good. Well, can be disappointed by the results. Can be better, of course.
Mm-hmm. Anything that we might not get to hear from the players that you're feeling like they're leaving out, that you would be very honest in telling to the camera?
No, I'm not allowed.
Oh, it's a part of the deal. You can't say anything they don't say either. That's a good call. What about over here, Luke? Anything that you might feel you want to say about FaZe, how it's going, that they might not want to tell us?
We still have Sunday.
And that's true. You still have Sunday. Do you have today then? Is that going to be the Omagan Saturday? Is that what it's going to go?
We'll steal that Sunday.
You're going to steal the Sunday. Kat, where did Kat go?
Oh, I'm out and about.
Oh, you're sitting way
I'm letting you take it over. I'm relaxing.
Like, where did she
I'm about
go?
to grab a beer as well.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's fair. You can take over. You can continue it over there.
Go
hop over to
come
Kat.
on over here.
Kat. She's in the audience somewhere over there.
Yeah, come on over. I'm so short. I'm sorry. Bam. Right here. No, you're gonna come around this way? I'm making it as easy as possible for these guys over here. So, are you guys from Sweden? Are you guys traveling from somewhere else?
No, we're from Sweden.
How are you guys enjoying the event overall?
Yeah. It's so fun watching all these players. So, great.
Now, are you guys friends with any of the teams out here? Are you guys rooting for one team in particular to take the championship home?
Yeah, I guess we're rooting for Team Liquid. Yeah, we're K-Mind and Ibiza fans, so...
I mean, aren't we all secretly? I mean, I know that I am. No, but it looks like you guys are having a couple of drinks, though. Good, honestly. Oh, it is open bar, dude. Good for you guys, though. Toby, you doing good over there?
I am doing just fine. I found 2 players from Omak, and I feel like now that we've talked to all the... this guy really wants to get interviewed too. I can feel it. Now that we talked to the coach and we talked to the manager, might as well get a word from T-Bone, the man himself. Yeah, sit up straight. You're working out, might as well show your body right here. Gotta ask. How are the games? Like 2 millies? How is that going along, like the Omagan playbook? Is that a good thing or bad thing?
I don't really like mill-based, so...
No. Any insights as to why not?
Oh, wait.
Not really, I just don't like it. Just
not
a fun circle to play.
Don't like millies whatsoever. Okay, so anywhere on the map, circle ends on the dot where you want it to go. What's the perfect Omagan game?
Wherever we loot, so the builder. We start looting.
The less you have to move, the better off you are. That's how it is. Is that the case though? Because I feel like when you play Sanhok and you get the games that go where you are, you might get wins, but don't get the kills. But when you have to move, like go north, Paradise-ish circles, you get the wins and like those 15-kill games too.
Well, on Sanhok it's different. Sanhok you just fire.
So then you just don't care about where the circle ends. No bad circles in Sanhok.
West. That needs to be removed.
The mountain islands. Yeah. Once again, Waldo has disappeared. Oh, she's over there. She's over there talking to another team.
Oh, I'm right
Kat,
here.
You
Yeah,
ready?
no.
You're ready? There's full-on communication between us right now.
With somebody from Athletico. I heard there was some, with the trash
that's
talk of
gonna be fun.
Anakin Sports. I would love to hear your opinion on that. I mean, what do you think of that team?
I don't really know. They're a pretty good team. I don't know what they've said, so I can't really comment. But there's still 10 more games. Frost is obviously a dog shit coach.
Oh, I mean, I love the trash talk. I don't like.
Throwing out some trash talk Frost, so.
I mean, is it PUBG without the trash talk, to be fair? And we're joined here with Wildcard Boys. So, guys, how did you enjoy those tacos back there? How was lunch? And what do you guys like to do in these very great mid-show times?
Just walk around. Just stand around really awkwardly.
Yeah, we just walked around, stood here, watched the camera awkwardly, and you came over, so.
Well, you guys totally waved me over. I mean, please. Awkwardness in esports players never. No, but
Shy is a crush.
You have a crush? Wait. Wait a second. Wait. Oh, wait. So you have a girlfriend. Oh. Do you have anything you want to say to her, though?
She's probably at fucking school, dude, but I love you, Yomi. Wait, I can't cuss. Wait. Cut it, dude, just cut it.
I mean, you're fine. You're actually fine. Yeah, they just said you were fine. So, I mean, you're good to go. Toby, how you doing over there?
I'm doing fine. Speaking of girlfriend, I have found both Vard, very, very talented WTSG player, and his girlfriend. And I know normally we talk directly to the players, but I've got to ask you, because I have a fiance. I'm that lucky. And I cannot get her to go to an esports event with me. What did it take for him to convince you to come watch him play?
It didn't take anything.
You came willingly?
Yes, I watched PUBG for a very long time.
You are a very, very, very lucky man. But how is it for you as well? I mean, I know sometimes you get to bring family and stuff to events, but for this kind of non-audience event, how is it to still have relations here?
No, it's really good to have like support with you. It's really good.
Does it motivate you when you're playing as well? Does it get you that like one extra headshot and just to impress, you know?
I mean, no, you don't really think about it when you're playing, but I guess you don't want to play bad in front of people that are watching you like live, I guess so.
You don't go like before the shot, this one's dedicated to you. You don't do that? Will you maybe in the future take one more second to shot just to go like this one's dedicated to you can dedicate a good headshot to someone.
Yeah.
Maybe someday when you get this. I mean, there's enough kills coming in anyway, so it should be enough. I'm glad to see so many people enjoying this event, both players and others. And now, hopping over to Kat once again. We're Kat. I feel like you're in your natural habitat over there.
Oh, you're calling me out because of my partying skills? I mean, I love that. So we're back here with the bartender.
The bartender.
With the man, the myth, the bartender, dude. What? Do you have a name then, or are you just the bartender?
The bartender. You call me the bartender.
Just the bartender. If you guys don't know, he's a handsome-looking man. Look him up on Facebook. The bartender. Oh, thank you for that. So, being back here, has anybody tried to grab way too many beers and you've stopped them, or are you just letting them have it?
A few of the teams have actually tried to get a beer, but I've stopped them. During the games, no beer. After the games, they can drink. So, and then the CEO has also tried to drink some, and I say, no, one beer is enough. So.
Oh, I mean, good for you, but maybe some players play better. You know, who knows? I mean, maybe we should get some shoes back here.
From Exodus, what's his name? Taylor J. Yeah, he's been here every day trying to get beers. I say, no, man, you can't drink. You have to focus on your game, and then you can have after the final. So.
Oh my God, put this guy in as a coach. Taylor J, you hear that? You gotta step it up without the alcohol, dude.
Bartender, life coach, everything.
Man of many talents. We love that. Toby, you out there, or did we lose you? Oh wait, how are you doing back there? Do you want this beer?
Yes, please.
Yeah, sorry, the camera guy wants the beer. Here, hold on.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. Oh, Toby's ready. Dope.
Move out of the way, guys. Move out. I'm here with Uba. Uba, people obviously know who you are. You're a very, very talented player. How is the tournament treating you so far?
so still working.
It's okay. Still not, as Luke said, it's not Sunday yet, so it's not. You don't have to activate the full Uber potential yet.
I mean, yeah, I'm halfway through, so.
There you go. That's a good thing. We're going to see a clip in just a moment. We might actually be able to get it up on screen now, and I want to hear Uber's words on this. You see it right here, Uber. You mean, is this like watching your own stream on a daily? Just you popping people off.
And yeah, they died eventually, so.
I mean, is you throwing a nade immediately? Like, when were you aware these guys are coming in? When you saw the cars, or did you hear them earlier too?
I mean, I heard cars driving, and someone like AZ or Gustav like called it that they're coming, and so yeah, I grenaded it the most obvious spot, and they died.
Okay, and your immediate reaction is to swap over to the nade, because in case you can't shoot them, then I mean you'll still have the nade under the car. Or was that just something you do in this specific situation?
I mean, Faz wasn't there, like close to me enough, so yeah, I decided like to back off a little bit and shoot through the door.
Okay, that's a good call. I like it. And it was, I mean, were you surprised yourself that it worked out as well as it did, or was it one of those on to the next thing, or did you take a second to go, wow, that worked?
I mean, I looked in the kill feed and saw like a lot of names there, so yeah, it worked.
That's a good one. Thomas Uber, we're glad to have such talented players here at the GLL Grand Finals. Any closing remarks, anything to the fans out there you want to say?
I mean, yeah, thanks for supporting us. See ya.
Great, thank you so much. We're going to go back to you guys. Sato, take it away.
Thank you, Toby and Kat, and to the life coach, the Tendy behind the bar. Taylor J, man, what are you doing? Stay focused. We'll stay focused on that nade. That was actually such a good play.
I mean, I'm glad he's so cool about it. Like, that's just standard Uber.
The only thing I love more than his play style is his eloquence. That man does not mince words, and he says it like it is.
I mean, I guess if you only say 4 words, it's hard to mince them.
It's truth.
I manage it sometimes.
Fair. No, but I mean, it was great to see. I mean, it was kind of fun seeing the lounge a little bit, hearing apparently Taylor J just loves to drink.
Well, it's actually interesting because I walked to the store with him this morning and he was hell-bent on buying bananas. So it's interesting, he starts his day with a banana and then we get to game 4 of the day and he's already craving a beer.
Yeah, absolutely. Bananas are a great way to get things starting. I know we just had a lot of Kat and Toby, but there was another man that was kind of, getting some shade thrown his way. Apparently makes bad life decisions, according to Nick 101 this morning with Atletico. I think Atletico, you got to make some better in-game decisions. But the man on the other side of that who's left the region, Luke 12, sat down with Kat.
What is up? I'm joined here with Luke 12 of Shoot to Kill Gaming, a North American team. Now, Luke, what does it feel like playing for a North American team as somebody of the Oceanic region?
Well, it's definitely interesting. It's a big change from OCE.
Oh no!
Oh no! Okay.
So I know you were one of the dominating factors in the North America finals.
Yeah.
How is it playing against different regions?
Well, the same as every international event, you always focus on the teams you never play against. So it's completely different play styles, mixing with each other, and yeah, it's a bit harder than when you play in your regional leagues and stuff.
What is something that you would like to see improved in the game, as well as in the pro scene?
Honestly, I think everything's going pretty good at the moment. And yeah, I'm just excited for this whole new structure for the whole league. They've changed from the whole leagues like MPL and stuff like that, and they've just moved to qualifiers. So it's going to be a lot harder and a lot more inconsistent, but it's definitely interesting.
Tell me what it's like to not only be picked up by a North American team, but be in a competition where you are competing against a team you used to play for.
Yeah, so that has been something that I've loved ever since I've joined the North American team, is we've kept up a nice rivalry between me and my old teammates. So there's always a bit of banter between in Discord and stuff like that.
You guys are all still friends,
oh, yeah,
though, right?
For sure. Yeah,
So
I love the guys on my old team, and we love hanging out with each other. I usually hang out with them all the time since I'm still in Australia at the moment.
So what are your predictions this weekend? I know that you were the top fragger in the NA finals. Are you trying to gun for that #1 spot again?
Definitely would be good, but mainly focusing on the team at the moment, trying to prove ourselves since we didn't make it through the PGS calls, but I think we're here to win this tournament, and we've been studying and practicing. We're going to really try and pull out a good result.
Some of the worst goaltending I've ever seen in foosball. but it looked like
he spins over the top too.
Yeah, it's illegal. That is illegal.
Rule breaker.
Is it that you can't let your hand off
Can't
the
let your hand
paddle?
off.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. I once was winning a game, to be fair, 9-1 and lost 10-9. So I don't play that game anymore because it makes me rage. But
Nice to hear
shoot
you
to
won
kill.
once.
Interesting points from Luke. We like qualifiers, but they're going to be inconsistent. Don't forget, a week from now, the PSG Berlin European Finals are on, and that is the next big event coming up. Shoot to kill's not even going to be in the North American qualifying finals. They failed online already once. So it's an interesting point that he brings up in the interview, considering coming here was already set in. It looked like it was going to be one to the other. Now they're not even there.
You just shoved that knife
I was
right
going
to
to say,
the ribcage there.
they're going to be so sick of hearing that they didn't qualify for PGS. But, you know,
It's true. Look, at least they haven't gone with,
look,
if you're going to get kills, you got to shoot to kill, you know?
That's fair, but at the end of the day, it's a relevant topic because Shoot to Kill are still trying to push for the title of best team in North America. In my eyes, the longest serving still remaining roster now in obviously with the addition of Luke 12, and we're talking 6 months plus now that Luke's been on the roster, but Shoot to Kill have been a name, and especially for me for the last 2.5 years, again competing against them to whatever organization on way back to the Dignitas days. And I mean, it's a shame to not see them, but again, they have a huge opportunity here to prove actually, look, it was a slip up. We dominated the GLL qualifiers. Luke 12 in particularly put up an insane performance through that series. So I'm really hoping they can close out this weekend in a really, really good position.
You want them to do well. They're a team that's committed to longevity. You can see that. Luke 12, I kind of talked about it today, or asked about it behind the scenes of I thought Luke 12 might consider returning to Atletico when he moved back because he's living in the OCE right now.
It's a big ask to have somebody playing cross-region, the time zones. Again, I started competing from the UK on a North American team. It's not easy.
And a lot of that comes from leagues because you have stability. You move to the league, you get a gaming house, or you start to be in those organizations. Now that they don't have those, and there's these bigger gaps between tournaments, you're right. It is a lot of commitment to play.
I mean, the reality is, Luke 12
travel.
has a blank check to go anywhere that he wants to for a lot of teams.
He could walk onto another roster easily.
And he's chosen to sort of commit to this roster. He believes in them, and I think that says a lot. I think that they need to do well here. It stinks that they won't be at PG, but that's sort of how things work with the PGS system. But they can come back and get the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, I haven't seen a lot from them in this event, but you're right. I want to see some turnarounds, maybe a return to form. We get onto Miramar next. We're going to start talking about that. Before we do, speaking of shooting and killing, I want to look at the kill totals because that has been a big part of this gameplay. In fact, so far, someone tweeted us and said Singularity is the only team that has more placement points than kill points, and perhaps that's to be expected. No surprise, I suppose, considering the leaderboard. Maybe Omakin getting in there with T-Bone. That one kind of jumps off the page, considering they're not as near the top.
That's a name you wouldn't expect to see in there. So T-Bone actually coming out with a really impressive performance so far. The other four, I don't want to say expected, but expected, right?
Yeah.
And these are the teams we're seeing doing very well. The unfortunate thing, again, we're in a position where in another event where Uber's the only member of FaZe in the top 5. But again, FaZe, they had a rocky start yesterday, but they're definitely picking things up. Again, when Uber's making plays like the highlight clip we saw, it's no surprise.
Hey, it's funny. Imagine being his teammate, right? We saw him in the interview. We're like, why'd you use a grenade? Well, Fuzz wasn't there to cover him.
Yeah, Fuzz wasn't
there. Literally, he said, well, I can replace Fuzz with a grenade. So, I mean, but at the end of the day, that's his best duos partner.
And perhaps fittingly, Exalt no longer has anyone in this top 5. Yesterday, obviously, they were very much at the top, and T-Bone comes in as the odd man out that changes. Xiong's gone a little quiet, but Vard stepped up in a replacement of that.
Shout out to James as well. Obviously, the Liquid haven't had an easy run, so we've seen them make it to endgame and stuff, but who are the players we've been talking about? We've been talking about Kmine. James has quietly been fragging out.
Also worth noting, as far as I'm aware, he's the only IGL on that list right now. He's making the calls and making the kills.
Xiong was the other, but he's dropped off. Exactly.
So it's that's not an easy thing necessarily while you're focused on the macro to also be mastering the micro.
If your IGL's top fragging, you're in a good spot. Honestly.
We're getting very close to ripping the weeds out of the other maps and letting them tumble, I should say, on the arid grounds of Miramar. It's definitely have to be Exalt stepping things back up, but we're only halfway through this event. Or I should say, we're already halfway through this event. By the way, 9 games left, not 10 to Atletico. Couldn't do math at the chat with the cat, but it's already starting to look like who is going to catch WTSG.
Yeah. Well, I had a really interesting conversation with Iro earlier, and I was trying to kind of, pick his brain a little bit about the Miramar games, why they had a rough start. Because obviously exploded into Sandhawk and turned around. It was a 12th place and a 14th place on Miramar. Obviously, they drop in San Martin. They have SDK over Hacienda. They have Singularity to the north of that. South of that, they have a load of problems. They have Yahoo, Oath now. Obviously, they're forced west out of San Martin. And anybody who knows Miramar well, they have really poor rotation pass round to the west because eventually they run into Na'Vi. They have wildcard at Power Grid. And what did we have yesterday? We had 2 south circles in Miramar. Probably the worst situation for them because they can't go east. They have to go west and go down. So hopefully now we get a bit of diversity and they can turn that around.
All right, well, we've got to jump straight into it. They are ready to go. Nice. Fuzzface on screen. We'll see if he has some answers because so far, 64 points is the most that's been achieved in a day. Right now, the gap, I think you said, is 37, Hypoc. If they close out strong, WTSG might be untouchable for tomorrow. That would be impressive, but we'll see who has the answer. To do that, we have to send it over to Avenger and D-Man.
Thank you very much, guys. Yes, here we go. And you know what? I'm gonna go straight off that one, Matt, and say nothing is ever done in PUBG until the final game. We've had so many bonkers comeback moments that have happened, especially in GLL events, where things have always been blown out craziness. Obviously the Knights, crazy qualifications previously, various things. Actually, the Knights for Grand Slam as well. It's like multiple times. And even last Grand Slam, FaZe, final game, Atletico, like anyone could have took it. It went on to Milta and, the rest was history. These things can happen. It is a great start for WTSG.
It's an amazing start. And if they continue this performance, it's going to be hard to catch them. But again, we've seen in 4 games 3 wins on the top 4 from Knights, for example. We've seen some insane amount of points in very short amount of time, but it's very competitive here. We have some very good teams. It's going to be hard to kind of show that and continue this. And if they continue this, we're talking 50, 60, 70 point lead.
I mean, the big part is that the vast majority of their points have come on Erangel, and now we're moving obviously back to Miramar.
Yeah.
Triple Miramar coming up. We do have the points, I believe, to show you, just to keep you guys in check in exactly where we stand with these last 3 matches of the day. Of course, WTSG, they are at the top of the table. They have a nice lead, but a 14-point lead, that is easy for someone to make back up for, say, Omicron, who have started the day really well. Team Liquid up there, consistently pumping those points in, getting themselves some strong finishes. And FaZe Clan, they are ever persistent. But a team that nobody expected to be in that top 5 right now is Singularity for me.
No, and they've been playing insane. As I talked to Adler, one of the Singularity guys, and he's saying, you know what, Kodak is absolutely insane. And we saw some of this performance from these guys coming out. And it's surprising, but I'm super happy to see the step up here. And they're like, this is a dream come true. We want to show that our region is capable of something like this. And Singularity is showing. So I'm happy to see this. Obviously, they had two wins. Very nice performance from them. And it's the only other team than WTSG that have these 2 wins. And then they had some very high performance in terms of placement. But they need to step up if they want to try to kind of stay in that top 4, top 5 to get these kills in here.
Well, Atletico on your screen, it's not been the dream return. I think it's safe to say that they would like to have had here. They themselves, they've said they've not been performing that well even before coming here. They've kind of been struggling in the Oceanic scene, so they knew they were going to come into this one with struggles, and it does show. They're down in 13th place right now, but here we go. Miramar about to get underway. As we approach the battlegrounds, it is going to be a pretty fair plane for everyone involved, cutting straight across from the northeast down to the southwest. So just about everyone can get to their start position. So I'm hoping we don't get any remakes. We had it one yesterday. We're not going to catch Stuff Guard here this time, Martin.
No, obviously it's set here to begin with a very nice equal plane for everybody. Only the teams at the very edges are going to have some time, but it's going to be pretty easy. Nobody's going to be having a rough time to get to the position, and that's obviously nice for everyone. But I'd really like to see the teams that are able to flex drop. We have seen Omicron. You know what? They are both dropping into Valdemar and Puerto Paris, depending on how the plane is. And being able to do that, and being capable of doing that, is actually very hard. So let's see how the start is here, and let's see how we wrap this up or start this up here with the first game of Miramar today. And as you said, with the lead they have, WTSG, if they continue this today, we might very well see them basically finish it off tomorrow if they continue this performance here. But let's take a look at it. Looks like Exodus and Inside Games are very close to each other in Los Leones. They've been sharing it quite well, but again, can be rough to share. Oh, it's a little dark.
I mean, obviously we see the circle. It is far over the east and will affect, obviously, the teams that are deep on the west side. The likes of FaZe Clan are obviously dropped down there. And we did manage to catch a word with them talking about exactly how they plan out. And with their new change in Erangel, it's going to be interesting to see how they talk about their drop phase.
And it's hard to tell now with a lot of new teams. No one has really played now with the new teams in actual tournaments. Because basically every team is different now in EU. Everyone had roster changes. So this is like the first actual event for almost every team now, I think. It's always fun to fight with Liquid. It's always been, we always had a lot of history. And now even more with Mexi as well. So it's like good friends, and we're good competitors, and we're both really good teams, so it's always fun.
Well, while FaZe are obviously getting a nice easy drop over on the western side, I do see a little bit of conflict between Inside Games and I think it was Exodus that were in both dropping into Los Leones, and that's obviously based off it. And now Pixel, who has had a cracking day today, but he's got himself an M4 no-scope straight away, no problem, onto Extreme. And, well, unfortunately, the woes continue for Atletico.
That's very unfortunate. And this is their area. This is the compound they should be prepared for. He didn't hear him pull up himself because he was traveling as well. So this was the circle that Atletico they would be starting off great with. And this is one of the compound we've seen a lot of ending. This compound is super strong in this area. So this is such a heartbreaking moment for Atletico.
It's a tough circle. I do see the islands in the circle.
It's not easy enough.
It's not exactly.
It's not easy enough.
I knew Wilhelm and co were going to be back there, Ansvar, already for the exactly what's going to happen. The islands are there, but it's like, as you say, it's got to be like a deep east circle for that to happen. We are at GLL. These things do sometimes happen, but I'm expecting this to pull over to the west a little bit. There is obviously a large portion of, say, La Bendita crater and Minas Generalas, and as you mentioned, where Pixel is in the Truffoli compound, as we tend to name it these days, where he had a mega performance. But a team that always rotates early is, of course, Team Liquid. They have been caught out a couple of times on the early rotates, Mexi especially on the bridge early on against Red Canids. But this time it looks like he's going to be leading the charge, and Team Liquid are going to find their home, along with Omakan leaving Valladolid.
They're going to have a long rotation into this, but obviously they know how the plane was, and they are quite sure that nobody's going to be in Puerto París. So they're going to have a very easy rotation through on the south into Puerto París. They're going to be coming in quite deep already in the circle. But I see kind of three endings here. We could potentially have one close to where Pixel is. We can have one where Exalt is right now. We've seen a lot of these junkyard endings. And then we've seen some of the endings further south, actually, off Atletico and down towards the area in the more kind of mountain area. And we have a lot more hills. And I actually love those southern endings because there's so much kind of natural cover, all these dips, all these ridges and everything. I really love those areas.
Well, teams are spread all over at the moment, trying to find themselves a position. That crate coming right down for Exalt, although I do see Meta heading slightly towards it, but Exalt should be able to go out and collect that one. They have pretty much the easiest route for it. Shoot to kill, a team that is certainly the highest performing North American right now. Obviously, we talked about the fact they almost had a limousine from the airport, sponsored by our good friend Martin here.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Luckily, your wallet was saved on that one. It was. It was saved. The elimination came through. Limonation, I think it was. They got knocked out early. Yeah. So, well, I mean,
But they had a great qualifier, honestly, and I'm expecting them to be the best team from North America right now. But again, they had a dreadful PGS Americas LAN qualifier, so
we don't want to harp on it. The desk have just been hounded on it for about 10 minutes.
Yeah,
the poor guys.
I know. Yeah, but again, it's they want to redeem themselves, and I'm expecting them to do so.
Well, I did just see Oath, a team that has been struggling.
A great start.
3 in a car. That's not good. So Monkey's going to get the crate. Okay. So Meta are nearby, but Monkey's going to take it. Hit and run, thank you very much. Off he goes, back to Nailip.
He's going to leave the shotgun in there. It's not worth it on this map especially. But he's going to get the upgrade 3 vest. And there's a 50 in there as well, so he could share that if he wants to.
I'm somewhat surprised. I know Team Liquid rotated early, but I'm somewhat surprised to see that they got that compound so freely outside of Bendix Crater. I'm somewhat surprised to see that was thing. I'm not too surprised to say Pixel stayed in the Thrifty compound. I think the rest of IG, while they're pretty much spread and fanned out right now, are probably going to work their way over towards Pixel if they can find vehicles.
They are currently on foot. It doesn't look like they have any vehicles, unfortunately. But a 3-1 split from Liquid could be too greedy. Like, it's a very good compound where James is in, especially to rotate from and to. But we'll see if anybody's going to crash him. He's not going to be able to hold that alone if a 4-man team crashes him. But obviously they're putting the majority of the guys in the most important compound.
Look at this deep north rotate coming out of WTSG. They are choosing, knowing full well, obviously, a lot of teams coming from that sort of central area. It was a plane path that kind of went across the center.
Right.
So it's not too surprising. They're going to be aware that it's pretty clustered. So they're thinking, okay, what's the best angle we can take? Well, Singularity and El Al-Zahar, Meta up that way. So they're feeling this is probably the safest route they can take. It is a big old swing, though, and it's going to bring them down. I guess they're going to go straight past Meta. Maybe that's a strong compound that Meta hold right now. Probably even continue down towards the edge of Impala.
I would think so, yeah. I can see them coming up maybe on the rocks of the Impala side, like on the northern side of the construction area and the facility around northern Impala. They could probably go there, but looks like Meta, they're preparing to see if they'll be pulled up on or not.
Vice versa. While WTSG are doing that, if they continue on the path, I'm seeing Omicron doing almost the reversal from the south side, the deep south side. Obviously, they start in Valladolid, so they're working their way up. Impala is Porto Pierre, so it's kind of like their home territory sometimes. If the plane path is over this way, they went Valladolid this time. So they're going to continue further north. I mean, this is the problem with this circle, right?
Hard.
This is a nasty, nasty circle that can go multiple places. There is, it almost certainly will pull over to the east. It's just a case of how far west. God damn it.
It's,
east and west.
The compass dyslexia.
What is wrong with my east and west?
No, but as I said, we're kind of expecting it to go over there. It depends on how deep you say it is. But again, I like this from WSG and Omakan. As you said, we have a very central kind of plane cutting through, and when you get an eastern circle, theory is that there should be less people, less pressure on the eastern side. So I like to see that rotation.
FaZe might get caught out here. The camp from Exodus. Balefrost, he landed the headshot starting off. Fuzz pulls up and tries to abort, reverse, get the hell out of there. Can he do a 3-point J-turn? I know what he's going to try. Instead, it's just a simple backup and turn. Try and do something fancy, but instead it's just going to be a simple reverse and avoid Los Leones. And right now, I can tell their comms is thinking, what in the effing L is someone doing camping Los Leones Road?
Yeah, because usually you would think that Los Leones is free. Nobody's there yet or still, but the Exodus guys, they didn't have too many cars available to them. I think they only got 1 or 2, so they just spent some more time. And again, it could be free points. A lot of people think that the big cities are not taken when they're not central, so that you can just rotate straight through them, but they tried to outthink. They didn't get any points from it, so in the future, in this kind of game here, or in this kind of circle, we're not going to see FaZe go through that city anymore, I think. Next circle has centralized somewhat west of Impala, and Team Liquid has decided to go 2-2 split instead, which is a very good one, but we have 2 more circles before it decides to go away from water. We still have a little bit of water in there, but there's some other tendencies as well that can affect the 4th circle. We'll see if that's going to happen. Oath, though, looks like they're going to be able to take one of the free compounds close to Team Liquid, further north up the road. The most central compound right now with the big warehouse or the big red brick building is actually still not taken. So somebody could definitely crash that if they.
It's also a nasty compound, though. It's not a nice compound to be in.
Yeah, it is.
It's hard to hold and hard to get out of once you're
and
sort
very
of
easy to crash if you're an opposing team. So you can take it later if you want to. Oh, Taylor J going to be found by Flood. Is he going to be able to finish it? Yeah, he's also going to be able to finish with some headshots there. Nice by Flood. Miracle's going to find Kodak.
Oh, so Singularity, they continue down. We saw them in El Zahar earlier on. Of course, Iro putting some work on Harold's car there. Kodak goes down. Oh no, Pome, Quick were both in that car as well. And Singularity all gone. 5 kills already for the leading team, WTSG. What a start for them on the first Miramar game of the day.
It's a much better start than they had on the other games. Happy to see this. These guys are prepared. They are running off the flow.
Well, we saw Exodus trying to camp out FaZe earlier on. They found each other once again as Fuzz tries to creep on in from behind a Balefrost and PackCaps. PackCaps taking fire from inside games there. Obviously lost one to Atletico already, which is why they had to draw up short, but pretty sure they're well aware of Fuzz face. You can see the nades and smokes back and forward between the two. Further north, Tornado Energy and Navi kind of buffered one another, but Navi have backed out of that, so they're going to continue rotating. We can see Exalt, by the way. That's a second crate. That's a second crate for Exalt now, so they're going to be tier 3'd out of their minds right now as they get themselves in a good position. A really nice, wide 2-2 split as well.
And it's two very strong compounds. Actually, the one Shiv and Udo is holding is very hard to hold as two, so I'm surprised that they're going to continue to do that. They're definitely in the next circle, they're going to change, but Xiong creeping up on VHC. Maybe Nate, can he connect anything?
Going for the rock, that's what he's trying to aim towards. It could be good. Oh, it is 88 damage. VHC very lucky he didn't get taken down with that one. Is it going to be a little underhand from Miracle maybe? He's going to try and toss it. He's cooked that to too much, too much. They're tossing him too far. Switch to the weapon. Sparking gets the off angle. That's a really nice flank from him. Biding time for VHZ. That's going to go straight onto Miracle, and that may well be one down. But Melman from across the backside, way out in the hills, gets the knockdown.
But actually, Xiong managed to steal it with a nade, so the point is going to go to WTSG again. One more kill for these guys. Foss, he's going to be knocked here by PackCaps. But FaZe, they're going to be rolling into this compound. Next circle will pop, and we're going north. Salt there right now sitting in the middle, where they're going to actually go to the other guy, Shiv and Udyr. So they're going to be in a very strong compound with 4. It's going to be quite easy to hold as 4, but they have to be aware that they're going to be creeped up on the south. It's very easy to breach on the southern side as well. But 2 of these guys, Udyr and Monkey, I believe, the guys that are 3'd out of their mind with a level 3 helmet and vest.
Inside games pulling up on the edge circle deep south. That causes problems. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams down in the south. Omicron being the one that's got Atletico pushing on them at the moment as Kaishin goes down. WTSG collecting themselves, the 7th kill and counting. Tornado Energy may well be bumping into Sparking there. This is T-Bone, of course, or T-Bone-E, as the team like to...
They like to meme him a little bit.
He does not like that. The meme on him, but they are putting some work on Atletico. Obviously had a great day today as well, but they are seeing WTSG putting a lot of kills on the board, and as a team they're trying to chase themselves.
And T-Bone, I see he's borrowed Ival's weapon, the SKS. T-Bone prefers the SLR, but unfortunately they haven't found one, I believe. But let's see if he can finish off Flood, maybe see if he can crawl through there. But again, it's a really strong hold. They're going to be repositioning. They can actually hold this position very well. They have such an easy entry further into the zone. But they're just looking to pick up a few points here. Can he finish him off? Doesn't look like Atletico is even going for it. They're leaving him. Both Sword and Nick is leaving in the cars right now. So he's going to bleed out. And they're going to collect the point here. Very good. Very nice start from him.
Red Canids are about to pull up right on WTSG. This is maybe going to feed even more kills to WTSG. They're in a prime position. You can see they're already lighting up Rusty Zera's car as he goes by down the bottom. Xiong looking for him. That's going to be a knock and a kill for Kill Demo. 8 kills and counting with 51 alive, only 14 minutes in. This could be a mega performance for WTSG. They did lose Miracle, of course, with that fight with Meta. They also have Atletico that are wrapping around the back of Red Canids as well, so they've got to be careful they don't get pushed upon. And they don't really have an angle into the circle right now because Tornado Energy kind of have them locked out. FaZe, though, they found T-Bone. T-Bone's having to back away from this one in Impala.
T-Bone, see if we can connect here. Maybe it's repositioned. It looks like Paige is coming in for the backup. This is going to be a fight, big fight between Omicron and FaZe Clan. Shots are coming from the side. Paige is going to take Gustav down, and now they're down to 2 FaZe Clan.
While this is happening, Exodus are also pushing inside games as T-Bone with the barrel doesn't manage to land and connect on Uber. Just a couple of taps. Gustav with nothing alive. Can he get the shots off in the back? No, doesn't work out. PackCaps does go down. That's free kill collecting himself more as they try and clash on the south road. Working in, Uber's gone.
Sideman's full on sending it straight into the water. He's decided to...
I'm going to suggest that's a crash.
Yeah, definitely a crash into the water. No, I think they don't want to give away the point here. That's unfortunate. Nick is still alive. Circle sent us very nicely onto Exalt. Tornado Energy here is fighting with WGSG on the side. Aliak goes down to Sparking, but Vard maybe 3 to see if he can connect the nade.
Ooh, they connect. FaZe go down. FaZe losing players left and right to Page there. And the finish from WTSG, 9 kills now. as they continue on their march into the circle. The circle centers up on Exalt once again. Absolutely perfect for them. The compound, don't forget, they've got double tier 3 items as well. Team Liquid, they're going for a crash onto Oath. Looks like it's going to be their compound they're going for, as Jeems will be pulling in first. The bike position. Now, this is a tricky compound. It can be crashed fairly easily. Mexi's around the side. Snake is on the flank. Should be able to catch him around the right-hand side, but Jeems is pushed up early.
Jeems is already in. EB pushing up as well. They have to take the fight. Try to see if they can make a 2 versus 1 advantage here, but all still alive. Mexi managed to heal up fully. Could be a big fight for them.
Another kill.
They know Snickers is up there. Nades are coming out. Mollies are coming out.
Oh, Snickers managed to land the damage. That's going to be a 50. Does we get the knockdown on Ibi as well? Off the right-hand side, Mexi may well be a big part of this one as he tries to get an angle on reload. Gets the shot, doesn't land, quite connect as strongly as he'd like to as he pushes around. Mexi gets a quick spray down. Snickers still down, so it's Oath with 1 man left. Shinboy
Good nade.
has to try and back away from the flash. The nades come through as well to follow on, but it doesn't take any damage from this one. Maybe looking to back out that back door.
Mexi's preparing a nade as well while they're going in. Jeems is going to go in. Going to be finished off. K-Man's coming in as well. It's not fast enough, though, to finish or to get Jeems up. Reload's going to be taken down
through the window!
Wolf.
Doesn't work out for him. K-Mine has been performing so well on this event. Manages to finish off the kills as well.
Snickers.
But it is now, what, a 2v1, I believe?
Yeah.
It is, indeed.
With Mexi knocked, they could potentially get him up. They know where he is as well. Mexi's knocked on the top floor. One of the kills got stolen, unfortunately. But they're going to go for the revive here. Mexi's going to be picked up again. Vard.
Another kill! I think they've got 12 kills now. It's like 11 or 12 kills.
Yeah.
So they keep on clocking them up as they keep going WTSG. So Faceland out in 12th place. WTSG, wherever they finish right now, they've already got 12 points on the board, I think. It's incredible for them. Wildcard got himself safe. Navi in the circle safe. Shoot to kill up in the north, but it is Ibi and K-Mine still tracking. Vonta Wolf. The nade comes through. Absolutely perfect from Team Liquid. And they lose just one man. Just Jeems going down in that fight.
Yeah, unfortunate. Jeems should have waited a bit for the other guys so they can trade. He went in a bit too early. It's completely correct play as well. Going in deep as the first guy so the second guy can come in and take the short kind of play here. But Jeems is just a bit too fast, so the guys are too slow. But WTSG 11 kills. D-Man.
This is crazy. And they know that Anwan and Rusty Zero are in there from Red Canids. And Omicron with a 4-man team, by the way. They got all 4-man out of Impala perfectly safe. Now, this is dangerous because WTSG don't have a great deal of utility left. They've obviously got the smokes, etc., but they've been involved in fights non-stop. So I'm wondering what state their meds are in, what state their grenades, etc. are in. But, Inside Games from deep south gets shots on the back of Vascu. He was trying to get the push on the hill, and it's forced him to back away. So both these teams will disengage.
Yeah, WTSG moving towards. They're actually in a great spot here. There's so much hill, so much cover they can play with.
Push.
Pixel's already kind of towards them. They need to do this, but now Exalt, they're going to be aware, okay, these guys, they have a compound in the south, most likely not will be inside the next one, actually going to go far north. So now Inside Games have to make a push here. Exalt's going to be aware of that. They're looking around, okay, where's the teams that have to move in this next circle? They know Liquid is going to make a move towards them, so they're going to prepare for that. And Inside Games have to move out of that combat as well. So is Omicron aware. You can see 2 or 3 of the guys are looking towards Inside Games. They want to finish off these guys to make get the extra points, eliminate these guys. Or look at T-Bone already taking some shots.
WTSG looking to move over the road. Tornado Energy see the position, realize they're going to get pushed from that backside. Inside Games already repositioning. Team Liquid, you saw Ibi. He's trying to find a ditch, trying to find a home, but it's not worked out. Canids picked him off and finished him off. So Team Liquid in trouble in this next circle. Exalt, they're already on the move to keep Inside Games at bay, but it is these teams that are down the eastern side all trying to push across the road. Ira caught out. Example finds him. He gives his position away to Vard and Shong. Have they got close enough, though, to nade? No.
It's a rough fight from outside the circle as well. Shoot to kill is happy fragging right now in Junkyard. They're going to try to hold out Navi as well. Now Shang, more needs to coming towards Example. Example is finished off Iro.
They have to do this fast. They have Omicron absolutely barreling behind them. They're charging up the road, and Ivor should get an angle. Doesn't really connect on Vard, and he gives a position away. And I think it was Tornado Energy that actually returned fire on him there.
Looks like shift from the center position. Oh, no, the fight is going to go up. Rusty Sarah's going to take down Air. Ivor Basket's going to take down and one. And now finished off his N1 as well. So 1 member left from Red Canids.
So Rusty Zera, he's still alive, and he may be able to get the knock onto Page there. Rusty Zera, he does finish Ivor off. He gets the one. down, but it's a big spread from Omicron, so he's not too sure exactly where they are. He knows Page is tucked behind there, sees Vasco down low, can't manage to land those shots. It's T-Bone that's actually tagging him up there. You can see the SKS working from range. That headshot from Rusty Zero forces him back. That's a molly to the side. Didn't catch him, but Vasco's on the good flank here. That's a really nice push from Vasco, but he's being stopped by Exalt.
Very well played by Vasco and Page here. Really nice repositions as well. Examined his last player, Fructinated Energy. Inside Games managed to get all 4 players alive because Omakan had to take this fight on the east, and now they're actually in a pretty rough position. Inside Games will try to hold them out. Shiv, though, he does not know that Pixel's just close to him. He has an idea that Inside Games is close. He heard one of the cars pull up, but he has full focus on Omakan right now. Page is going to return the fire quite quickly. They have to decide what's going to happen. Omakan and Inside Games will fight soon, but...
Well, the saving grace is for Exalt is that Inside Games can't push, because the second that, say, Pixel tries to push that hill, Omicron will shoot him in the back.
Exactly.
They're going to shoot him. So he has to just say low prone, and we'll see what he can do. Shong, what did Team Liquid say? What did Jim say? I'm looking forward to finding Samty in the middle of the circle, lying prone. Well, that's exactly where he is right now. He's actually going to hop across the road and be in the backside of Exalt's compound here.
God.
Sneaky, sneaky Samu.
He knows, this is so smart. He knows that once the circle pops, everybody, or at least the big majority of the players, they'll be looking at the map to try to make the next decision. So he knows, okay, I have 2-3 seconds to start moving, where everybody will, or the majority of the players will be looking at the map, because they're talking about what's the next play if they have to make a move. So this is so smart for him. Making a move instantly when the circle pops.
Page has been landing some mega shots. He was phenomenal throughout the qualifiers. Single-handedly carrying them on the first day. Some mega performance, and he's trying to move up at the moment. Vasco and T-Bone do, but don't forget about Inside Games that are sandwiched in between them that have started to get involved in this one. Zampeak, Ostrolak, and Free Kill all down south, getting their shots off, and Shiv, you had to land that shot. Navi and Shoot to Kill, they're connecting in the north side of this circle at the moment as they catch grenades back and forth between each other.
More shots coming in. Omakan does not know that Inside Games is this many players and that close to themselves. Now Pixel's starting to nade out. He's going to take down Shiv. Shiv is down. T-Bone taking a lot of damage as well. Meanwhile, it's a big fight with Wildcard and Navi and Shoot to Kill on the top.
That was so well played by Pixel. He's been so disciplined to sit and wait, and finally just cooks up a nade, and Shiv no clue where that came from. He was under fire of Omicron, but he's about to find T-Bone. T-Bone, though, will get him down. Omicron are in trouble, but they managed to turn it on their tails. Tornado Energy taken down. Page and T-Bone strike, and Omicron, they've got across the road in the north, and T-Bone in the south also picking up kills.
Wildcard in a great position. They have to make a move in. They're pushing in. But again, remember, we do have a road in the middle, and it's actually in the majority of the circles in the south. So they're fighting for very little space here in the north.
All in the north, yeah. They're just getting sandwiched. It's an American grinder pushing on the Russians. Navi really not a lot to play for, but instead they may clash with one another as Keenan and co from Wildcard push in, Shoot to Kill. They've got all 4 back on their feet, and Kemba is the last man standing for Navi. He's just got to keep his head down and hope that the Americans go back and forth between each other. Shong decided to go back across the road in this circle. Didn't find a nice ditch on that way. It does mean Omicron, they had to lose Vasco. He wasn't able to be revived, so they've let him go out. And IG, of course, down to 3 down on the south side.
Now he's going to be picked off by Alo. That is them out in 8th. There's 1 placement point for them, though. Now Mexi's going to see Wildcard. This is a very good amount of pressure he's putting on them, making sure that they're not coming this side here. So he's going to try to keep them away from K-Mine, who's sitting in a shack in the middle. So he also open up the play for him so he can move towards K-Mine later. Inside Games have snuck on into the south, and now they have to make a move on Exalt with this new circle.
It's Exalt's time to leave the compound. Shiv's back on his feet. Inside Games have to push in towards him. K-Mine, like you say, is safe in that shack. Mex is pretty much done, unless Wildcard don't look this way, which maybe because they are so focused on one another on the hills with Shoot to Kill. Yeah. Meanwhile, I can see Samty, a.k.a. Shong, is on the move again. Mexi's got that bike. It's going to light up his position, but he's trying to reposition and get an angle on Wildcard, but Exalt do see him.
He's trying to see if he can get into a better position inside the zone here, but Wildcard's actually... 3 of the guys from Wildcard are already in the zone. They have a road to play with. They have a kind of a peak advantage having the road that they can cover, but Shong in the middle, he's chilling right now. He's trying to see if a position is kind of free for him to play and wait for the guys come towards him. Shoot to Kill has 2 or 3 guys also inside. There's going to be a fight between Wildcard and Shoot to Kill. It's inevitable. But on the south, we have Exalt. We have Inside Games. We have Omakan. Omakan have 2 guys that have to move to get into the circle as well. Keenan sees Alo, but Alo sees him first and take the majority of his helmet off.
Yeah, it's slim pickings for cover down here right now for Wildcard. Every time they take a little peek, they're making sure they don't get their heads popped off. Sharp Shot just took a look on the road and instantly takes a bit of fire. But here's Inside Games creeping closer as Wooly does find a couple of shots and Luke finally lands that headshot. Is it go time? Yes, it is. He swings and finds Keenan as well. Luke popping off. Purdy Kearney's on the move. He's pushing round. He's trying to flank on them. But Mexi from behind is also moving on this.
He saw the 2 knocks. He knows that they're going to try to go for the revive. Sampeak, though, with Exalt is going out as well. This Inside Games and Exalt is going to make a big fight. While Omakan might be third-partying this. Purdy, though, creeping up. See if they can finish this off quickly.
All at the same time. Fights happening left and right. Mexi spotted by Alo. He tries to spin around, tries to confirm the kills what he can. Keep your eye on the kill feed. There's a double, triple fight happening right now. Purdy Kearney swings around. Mexi manages to steal 1 away. Gets the kick start down as Wildcard have finished off. Back down the south side. Omakan are trying to get the third party, and it may well work as Shiv gets knocked. It's Salt intolerable. They do get on Strolleback down, though. And now Zampeak, the last man standing with 3 kills. Knocked. He tries to push around. He gets chased in the back there. Udir's got to hop out. That blue is right on his back. Spins around, sees Exalt. Don't forget about Omakan, though. They still have 2 alive. T-Bone and Page are waiting for this to finish off.
Zampeak's trying to finish off this last point to secure 2 additional points. 1 for the kill, 1 for the placement. K-Man and Mexi, they have moved up in a really great position. T-Bone and Page are ready to completely close off this compound. Zampeak's been found at T-Bone. As Instant Games out in 6th.
The spray down from the barrel. Udir, nowhere to go. Smoking up his little shack. He hops and vaults out, and he's got to try and move, but the second his shadow is spotted, T-Bone should be able to barrel him down. He's got an M249, though, and that tier 3 gear, it may well give him the advantage if he can maybe pop that head early on. Those bullets will be pumping, so he's got enough to spray down both. Gets a little check in the side there. You can see T-Bone's angle in the bottom corner. Really both sitting in that smoke. The flash. Is it going to be the flash push? It is. Goes for the flash. Sees the peek from T-Bone. Sees one. Page with the return. And that is really well played. Omakan paying full advantage of IG and Salt facing each other.
K-Mine sitting just behind this with the PK's advantage. He knows that Luke is close. He's going to try the third part of this. Going to push on it after that. Well played by him. Doesn't connect fully, though. He doesn't get the knock. Mexi has the backup.
He knows that was his one last chance, because Omakan, now he knows that fight's concluded. Mexi's barreling down. He's trying to get around the side there. Mexi's about to get pushed. Comes around. Page is there. T-Bone is there. And Omakan, with 10 kills and counting, are on fire today.
And they're the kings of the south now. But look at this. Meanwhile, Xiong still alive. Four teams left. This 4 points secures for the placement. And they already have the kills from the start. But K-Mine, last player for me from Team Liquid here. Can he make something happen? Oh, spots one. Doesn't make it. Luke, 12 is going to take K-Mine down. Liquid out in 4th.
The one time you don't want a 4-time scope. It's just blocking your vision. Sees him peek up, but he didn't quite have the spot and the angle. So Team Liquid go down, shoot to kill. This is a big chance for them to step up. They are already climbing the table. Some big performances in the first half of today. Now a chance to shine, but don't forget about Xiong. Don't ride him out. He's creeping in there. 11 kills for WTSG so far, 10 for Omakan.
Shoot to kill, obviously, the kings of the north right now, and the circle is ending on their side. So Omakan have to move first. They have some smoke to work with, but this should be very easy for Shoot to kill to close this down. They have to get 2 openings, 2 knocks for Omakan to make this work. Otherwise, they're just going to be sitting ducks. Might even be worth to deny the kills if they don't get a knock here, because they're literally not going to be able to cross the road this late. Xiong, meanwhile, is going to be trying to survive as long as he can, but he's going to be spotted by Page. That's very well played by Page here. 2 important points. 1 for the kill, 1 for the placement, extra secured here.
Yeah,
they're going
to deny.
So clever. This is exactly the way it should be played.
So, solid stuff. Shoot to kill will take the victory. 8 kills for them, and it's an 18-point win. But we should look at the other 2 teams, of course. It is going to be 11 kills for Omakan, 11 kills for WTSG, I believe, if my maths is correct, and I spotted it all correctly. So, mega performances. Obviously, WTSG, they lost a lot of players early on. So, again, Xiong with some great crawling skills to get that top 3.
This was amazing as well, because except for Singularity and FaZe, this was the teams that the desk talked about as well. We have Exalt was on 61 points before this, Omicron on 66, so 5 points different from these teams here. So Shoot to Kill is going to be racing towards the top. Omicron is going to kind of expand the lead. Liquid is still in there, so they're trying to chase down WTSG.
Some impressive performances from Inside Gaming as well recently. Obviously, they're a team that got the last-minute call-up. They certainly did very well in the qualifying. It fell short just towards the end of the final day, the regional qualifiers, which was a grinder in itself. But they've definitely turned up here. We heard from Pixel early on saying top 12, that's all we're after. You know, that's just something sort of respectable position. Well, they're absolutely delivering on it right now.
I want to see them end in the top 8, so they are inside the money. That would be great for them. Proving themselves that even though they were here on a cancellation, the other guys, obviously, they would love to have been make it, but they would like to end in the money. This would be massive for them. This is the first time for such a big stage for them. They would love to end in the money as well.
Wildcard are the team that will be kicking themselves, of course. They were wedged between Team Liquid and Shoot to Kill. Performing once again. It took them a little while to get going at this tournament. There were a couple of 6th places and a 9th place to start things off, but then they started to deliver. They started to get their better performances, and obviously they had a win earlier on today, and this is, again, a second one in. Double chicken dinners in day? Are they going to conclude the World Tour? Who knows?
That could be sick. I'd love to see that.
May well get it. May well get there. So, fantastic stuff. What a day of action. Of course, we've got 2 more Miramar games coming up in just a moment. Are you surprised to see some of these teams at the top there? I mean, personally, I'm not. I mean, for example, looking right there now, Omicron, Shoot to Kill. 2 rosters that are unchanged. The only 2 rosters in this entire tournament that are unchanged.
It's kind of the expected performance because they've been staying together. The only surprise to me so far how our current leaderboard is actually Singularity. But the rest of the teams are getting into the groove. Again, it's been a long time since they've been competing at this level in a tournament like this. So, but it's getting there. The wheels are starting to kind of turn here. Liquid is in their FaZe. Had a bad game, but they've had some good games before that. I think we're going to have some really exciting games rest of the day, but tomorrow it's going to be insane. I think we potentially could see a comeback, but WTSG, again, massive amount of kills and clutching it with one guy to make sure that they got into the top 4, top 3.
Absolutely. The chase is on. Can anybody catch WTSG? We'll find out. Join us after the break.
One knock. It might be the right guy. They both ended on midnight. I'll take it.
This spot, don't leave me hanging.
Don't just watch PUBG, compete as well. Competitive ELO and ranking system. Climb the ladder. Start your path to pro. Head over to play.gll.gg. The best PUBG platform.